This is the Share the Knowledge podcast for DJs. Hey TLM, thanks very much for all your helpful content. I do have a question and I'm curious to see what you think about it. I will probably have to play a 5-hour set this weekend. I've done it in the past. First time went great, second time not so great. The problem during that second set was the crowd went through many different moods during the 6 hours of my set, and sometimes I just felt I wasn't catching up with their mood. Mostly they wanted bangers all the time. But is that really possible? And how can I keep up with the crowd when I get tired during such a long set? Any suggestions would be much appreciated. So that's a great question, and I have to admit I haven't played a 6-hour or even 5-hour set in quite a long time, but I can tell you that yes, indeed, playing bangers for 6 hours or 5 hours is not the way to go. And even though the crowd might have given you some kind of the feeling that they wanted bangers nonstop, if you would have given them 5 hours of the bangers they like, they wouldn't have been able to maintain either. They would need a break every now and then. So when it comes to the long sets, I feel in most occasions it's going to be impossible to do that. You're going to have some highs and lows in there, give the crowd an actual break. Now, there might be certain events out there where that's not the case, and if those parties are around, I'm pretty sure those people are on something, because otherwise I don't see how you're going to be bouncing for 5 straight hours without needing a break. But in my experience, you do want to have some nice ups and downs in there, because that up is not really going to be up if there's not also a down. Now, that down doesn't mean that you take it all the way back down, but you can't be peaking all the time. Now, when it comes to an event like that, I think it also depends on what type of crowd you have there. So in this case, was it a specific event around a specific type of music, or was it one of those events where you have like people who like all sorts of different stuff? So some people will like this, some people like that. That also makes it harder, because you're not going to be able to please the entire crowd the entire time. Like, for instance, if you're playing a 5-hour set and it's a 5-hour techno set for a techno crowd, then it's going to be a little bit easier to please that crowd, like the majority of that crowd. Of course, you're always going to have people in there who have a specific taste and they won't like everything you play. But for the most part, they will enjoy because they came to hear techno. Now, if you're playing a private event where they have everyone there from the 13-year-old nephews and nieces to grandma, then you're going to have people in there who will not like this and will like that, and the other people will want to hear some Johnny Cash, and the kids will want to hear some Lil Nas X. You're going to have a different scenario where it's going to be really hard to please the majority. So in that case, you're probably going to play a lot of stuff for the younger crowd, then maybe hit them with a nice little part that's for the older crowd. Like the older crowd, you don't have to please them that long. They're probably not going to be as active on the dance floor compared to the younger people. When I say younger, I'm not just talking teenagers. I'm talking all the way up to 30 or whatever. But when I say older, I'm talking like you have the 50 and 60-year-old people in there. It's going to be different. But I feel you should always just try to build like some highs and lows in there, because yes, you're going to need a break as well. And like in some cases, it's going to be hard to keep that crowd going the entire time. But I think you just said in there that it was sometimes hard for you to follow their mood. You should try to change that around a bit, and you want to actually be leading them instead of following that crowd. So yes, you're there to please the crowd, but if a crowd goes into a certain mood, I don't know exactly how you saw that, but it's not like you have to follow them there. So sometimes you might have to just make that conscious decision, like, hey, the next couple of tracks are going to be a little bit more down, just a little bit less energy, just that break before I go back into bangers. And even if someone comes up and starts asking for bangers, you know that you're going to be going back to the bangers in a couple of tracks. But there's going to be people in there that will take that moment, use that moment to go get that drink, have their little break, and they're going to be energized to come back for the rest of the set. But it is kind of hard to judge if you're not actually at that event, because I can say a bunch of things that might not apply to the crowd that you were playing for, because crowds are different. I'm going to actually double check. Maybe I missed something you said in the beginning. I don't remember if it was like a private event. No, it just says a 5-hour set. So it doesn't say what type of party it was, or if you're even the only DJ playing or anything like that. But yeah, man, don't go for 5 hours of bangers. Even if you feel like they want that, nah, I don't believe that. So build some breaks in there as well. You need a rest. They need a rest. If it's in like a venue where they need to make sure that the bar is getting their drinks, they don't want the people on the dance floor for 5 hours straight either. They want people at the bar as well. So they're going to be happy if people hit that bar sometimes. So I hope that helps you out. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to check out my full podcast episodes, make sure you check the link in the description box down below. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and activate notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching.